Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Everyday English Channel with Tom and Kate. We're really happy to have you with us today.
Yes, thanks for joining us. It's always nice to sit down together and have a calm conversation like this, especially when we know people are listening from all over the world.
Absolutely. How's your day going so far?
Pretty good, actually. Nothing special, just a normal day, but sometimes those are the best ones. I like days where nothing feels rushed. And you?
Same here. Busy, but in a good way. And I really enjoy these moments where we can slow down and just talk.
Exactly. And if you're listening right now and you enjoy these relaxed conversations, you can subscribe to the channel or share the episode with someone who's learning English. It really helps us, and we really appreciate it.
All right, let's get into today's topic. Today we're talking about how to introduce yourself in English. This is one of those situations that happens everywhere. At work, when traveling, when meeting new people, or even in very small everyday moments.
Yes, and what's interesting is that even people who speak English quite well sometimes feel uncomfortable with introductions. It's often not about grammar or vocabulary. It's more about the situation itself and the pressure we put on that first moment.
That's very true. Introductions feel important because they're usually the first thing you say to someone, and first moments can feel stressful. But the good news is that introducing yourself in English doesn't need to be complicated at all. You don't need long sentences, you don't need perfect grammar, and you don't need to sound impressive.
Exactly. You just need to be clear, polite, and natural. That's really the key idea for today.
Let's start with the most basic situation. You meet someone for the first time. Maybe it's at work, maybe at a party, maybe while traveling. The very first thing you do is simple. You say hello.
Yes, and just like in many everyday situations, hello is perfect. You can also say hi. Both are very common. Hi sounds a little more casual, hello a little more neutral, but both work very well in most situations.
After that, you usually say your name, and the structure is very simple. You can say, "My name is Tom," or more naturally in conversation, "I'm Tom." Most people use I'm in daily life. I'm Kate. I'm Sarah. I'm David. It's short, easy, and natural.
Very often the other person will say their name too. They might say, "Hi, I'm Anna." And then you respond with something like, "Nice to meet you, Anna. I'm Tom." Nice to meet you is one of the most common phrases in English, and you'll hear it all the time.
And if someone says it to you first, you can simply answer, "Nice to meet you too." That's completely natural and very common.
After names, there's often a short pause, and this is where many people start to feel awkward. They don't know what to say next, and they worry about silence.
But in reality, you don't need anything clever. You just continue with something simple and human. One very common thing people talk about is where they're from.
You might say, "I'm from France," or "I'm from Brazil," or "I'm from Canada." These are short, clear sentences, nothing complicated.
If you want to add a little more detail, you can mention your city. I'm from Paris. I'm from São Paulo. I'm from Toronto. You don't need to explain more unless the other person asks.
Usually, the other person reacts naturally. They might say, "Oh, nice," or "I've been there," or "I'd love to visit." And just like that, the conversation starts to flow.
One thing that's important to understand here is that introductions are rarely planned. In real life, people don't think, "Now I will introduce myself." It just happens naturally. You say hello, you say your name, and then you react to the person in front of you. That's why keeping things simple works so well.
Yes, and very often people worry too much about saying the right thing, but in reality, there is no perfect introduction. People don't remember the exact words you use. They remember how comfortable the exchange felt.
Exactly. And comfort comes from simplicity. Short sentences, a relaxed tone, and not rushing your words. Even if your English isn't perfect, that calm approach makes a big difference.
Another thing people forget is that introductions don't need to be symmetrical. You don't need to say exactly the same things as the other person. One person might talk more, the other less. That's normal.
Yes, sometimes the other person asks a lot of questions. Sometimes they don't ask many at all. Neither situation is a problem. You just adapt.
And that's why listening is just as important as speaking. When you listen carefully, you naturally know what to say next. You don't need to prepare anything in advance.
Also, it's perfectly fine if you don't feel confident right away. Confidence often comes after the conversation starts, not before. Many people feel nervous for the first few seconds and then suddenly relax.
Exactly. Those first seconds are often the hardest. Once they pass, the rest usually feels much easier.
Another very common part of an introduction, especially in professional situations, is talking about what you do. This comes up a lot at work, in meetings, or when people meet through colleagues.
And again, the language is very simple. One easy structure is, I work as... For example, I work as a teacher, I work as an engineer, I work as a designer.
Another common option is, I work in, like, I work in finance, I work in marketing, or I work in IT. Both are correct. You can use whichever feels more natural to you.
Some people also say, I'm a student, I'm a manager, or I'm a freelancer. All of these are very common in introductions.
And you don't need to explain your job in detail. One short sentence is enough. You don't need to describe everything you do every day or justify your career choices.
After that, the other person usually reacts. They might say, "Oh, interesting," or "That sounds nice." Sometimes they ask a follow-up question like, "How long have you been doing that?"
And again, you don't need a long answer. You can say, for 2 years, or for a long time, or I just started. That's already a complete answer.
It's important to remember that introductions are not speeches. They're small exchanges. You say a little, the other person says a little, and the conversation grows naturally.
Not every introduction needs to turn into a long conversation, and that's perfectly fine.
Now, not all introductions are professional. Sometimes they're very casual. You might meet someone at a friend's house, at a party, or while traveling.
In those situations, introductions are often even shorter. You might simply say, "Hi, I'm Tom," and the other person says, "Hi, I'm Kate." And that's it.
Yes, sometimes that's all you need. You don't have to add more unless it feels natural.
After that, people often ask simple questions. Where are you from? What do you do? How do you know Sarah? You just answer one question at a time without pressure.
What usually happens is that once you've said a few simple things about yourself, the conversation starts to move on by itself. You're no longer really introducing yourself anymore. You're just talking.
And this moment is very important, because once you realize you're just talking, the pressure disappears. You're no longer performing. You're no longer introducing yourself. You're simply participating in a conversation like everyone else.
This is especially helpful to remember in international situations. When you're speaking English with people from different countries, nobody expects perfect English. Everyone is adapting.
Yes, and in those situations, introductions are often very practical. People want to understand who you are, where you're from, and what your connection is to the place or event. Nothing more.
For example, if you're at a conference or a work event, introductions often sound very simple and direct. People exchange names, companies, or roles, and then move on.
And if you're traveling, introductions can be even lighter. You might meet someone on a train, in a cafe, or in a hotel. You introduce yourself, exchange a few sentences, and maybe that's all.
That doesn't mean the introduction failed. It just means that was the natural length of the interaction.
Many English learners think that a successful introduction must turn into a long conversation, but that's not true. Success simply means the exchange felt normal and comfortable.
And sometimes short conversations are actually better. They leave a positive impression without pressure.
Exactly. A calm, simple introduction is often more memorable than a long, complicated one.
And that's actually the most important thing to remember. An introduction is not a special moment that needs perfect English. It's just the beginning of a normal conversation.
Once the first sentences are said, people usually start asking simple follow-up questions. They might ask where you live now, what brought you here, or what you think about the place you're in.
You don't need to prepare answers in advance. You just respond naturally, one question at a time. For example, if someone asks, "What brings you here?" you can say, "I'm here for work," or "I'm visiting a friend," or "I just moved here recently."
If someone asks, "Where do you live now?" you don't need a long explanation. You can say, "I live nearby," "I live in the city center," or "I live not far from here." That's already enough to keep the conversation going.
Very often after these questions, the conversation becomes more relaxed. People stop focusing on introductions and start talking about everyday things like work, travel, the weather, the place you're in, or the people around you.
This is where many learners are surprised. They realize that the hardest part was only the first few sentences.
It's also completely normal if the conversation stays short. Not every introduction leads to a long discussion. Sometimes you introduce yourself, exchange a few sentences, and that's it.
Another important thing to remember is that you don't need to give all your information at once. You don't need to say your name, your job, your city, and your life story in one go.
You can share things little by little. People will usually guide the conversation with their questions, and you just follow along.
It's also okay to ask questions back. Introducing yourself is not only about talking, it's also about listening.
You can ask simple questions like, "And you?" or "What about you?" or "Where are you from?" These small questions help keep the conversation balanced and natural.
Another thing that helps introductions feel easier is accepting silence. Short pauses are normal. You don't need to fill every second with words.
Sometimes people smile, nod, or take a moment to think. That's part of conversation.
If you don't understand something, it's okay to say so. You can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" or "Sorry, I didn't catch that." These sentences are polite and very common.
Most people are happy to repeat or explain. Communication is a shared effort.
It's also completely fine to say that English is not your first language. You might say, "Sorry, my English isn't perfect." And most of the time, people respond kindly and patiently.
But even that is not always necessary. What matters more is being clear and calm.
Introducing yourself is not about being impressive. It's about being understandable.
A calm voice, simple sentences, and a friendly attitude are enough. Over time, introductions become easier. The more often you do it, the less you think about it.
One day, you'll realize you introduced yourself without even noticing, and that's a very good sign.
There's also something important to say about body language and tone. Even though we're focusing on language, how you say something often matters more than the exact words.
A relaxed voice, a small smile, and eye contact can make even very simple English sound natural and confident.
And this is great news for learners because it means you don't need advanced vocabulary to make a good impression.
Yes, sometimes learners think they need to sound smart or advanced. But in real life, native speakers don't speak like textbooks. They speak simply.
That's why phrases like "I'm Kate," "Nice to meet you," or "I'm from Paris" work so well. They're real, they're natural, and they're used every day.
Another helpful thing is repetition through experience. The more times you introduce yourself, the more natural it feels. Even if the sentences stay the same, your confidence grows.
Over time, you stop thinking about grammar. You stop translating in your head. The words come automatically.
And that's really the goal. Not to memorize scripts, but to feel comfortable using simple English in real situations.
Introducing yourself is one of the first steps toward that comfort. It opens the door to conversations, connections, and experiences.
And the more often you open that door, the easier it becomes.
Before we finish, thank you so much for listening today.
Yes, thanks again for spending this time with us.
We hope this conversation helped you feel more comfortable introducing yourself in English.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, or share it with someone who's learning English too.
Join us again in the next episode for another useful topic from everyday life.
Thanks again for listening. And remember, keep speaking English every day